Hello everybody. I was going to do a follow-up on these bowls. I did these back in November of 2022, and this is January of I think it's the 8th on 2023. But I did get to finish on these in December, but I'm just now getting around to getting a follow-up video on them. I stabilized the ink where I signed it in there with lacquer, and then I poured resin in on top of the lacquer. And pretty much made a big gum mess out of it. When I poured the resin on it, just went everywhere. So I thought, I'll just spread it all over it. And I just got a brush and just mopped it all over it. And it's just the biggest mess you ever seen. But ended up having to sand it, most of it back off. But I did leave it around the bark areas, and it's probably good for it. It probably hold the bark together. I did break. There was a piece somewhere way on out here it broke off. I can't remember what I did, but I knocked it off somehow or another. But didn't break too much of it off. I was trying to sand it. I think it turned out pretty neat anyway. I'd like to put some glaze in that, but the resin pretty much filled all the texture. And I did do some sanding on that to level the bottom back out. I had to knock some of the texture down. I did get the bottom nice and flat. And they dried very good. I turned this one and this other one over here. I'll show it here in just a little bit. I turned them wet. They was just full of water, but they did really good. I'm pleased with them. Poured resin on the inside, but I didn't. There's a white spot in there. I reckon it's air bubbles or something. But I sprayed shellac back over top of the resin over here in the back, and it is a little bit distorted where the signature and stuff is. And the other one I tried to keep the shellac off of the resin because the resin's just so much more clear to see through, but you can still see through it just fine. On the inside, I tried to just keep the resin in the inclusion. I didn't wipe it all over the inside of it because I didn't want the big old mess to sand out like I did the back. It was a job. But I sprayed shellac all over the whole thing, probably 3 or 4 extra coats on front and back. Here's the other piece. This was the outer piece. These are out of the same chunk of wood. It was a tree limb piece. And I poured resin in there. I had stabilized the ink with lacquer and then poured the resin over top of that, and tried to not hit the shellac hit the resin with shellac, so I didn't get it kind of distorted. I might have got it around the edges. You might see it around the edges, but sprayed shellac on the whole entire outside. I didn't wipe no resin all over this one. But this right here, I guess is where you're cutting into the roots of the bark. What that caused that neat looking mark, and it kind of reminds me of a buzzard too. There's his eyeball in his head and his wings. I don't know if it reminds anybody else of a buzzard, but it reminds me of a buzzard. There's a part right there, I guess, where the chainsaw got into it. And I dremeled it out and put resin in there, and try to get resin in these just in the inclusions. But I think it turned out real neat. I really like this one. It's just probably the barkiest outside of a bow I guess I ever kept bark on, I reckon. I think it turned out pretty neat. And here's how the pieces go together. Dust on it. Let's see here. These looks like about like that. The way they're sawed off from one another. But the center there was a big old hole, I reckon, where the tree limb was in there, and I guess it rotted out. It left a big old hole in it. Luckily, most all that cut out of it. Well, I reckon that's about it for today. Sorry I hadn't got a new turning video out for this year. I'll try to get one out here before too long. I just fell a little bit behind on stuff, and I'll put a few more pictures of these outside here in a little bit. It's been raining. Had this cold weather and raining, but I'll see if I can get a shot or two out here. But anyway, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one.